Thus says the Lord God, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from the midst of the nations to which they have gone, and I will gather them from every side, and will lead them back into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land, upon the mountains of Israel, and one king will reign over them all. And they will no longer be two nations, nor will they be divided any more into two kingdoms. Nor will they be defiled any longer with their idols, nor with their abominations, nor with all their iniquities. And I will save them from all the settlements in which they have sinned, and I will cleanse them. And they will be my people, and I will be their God. And my servant David will be king over them, and there will be one shepherd for them all. And they will walk in my judgments and keep my commandments, and they will do them. And they will live in the land that I gave to my servant Jacob, in which your fathers lived. They will live in it, they and their sons, sons, even forever. And David my servant will be their leader in perpetuity. And I will make a covenant of peace with them. It will be an everlasting covenant with them. And I will establish them and multiply them and set my sanctuary in their midst forever. And my tabernacle will be among them. And I will be their God, and they will be my people. And the nations will know that I am the Lord, the sanctifier of Israel, when my sanctuary will be in their midst forever.
His flock. Hear the word of the Lord, O nations. Proclaim it on distant isles and say, He who scattered now gathers them together. He guards them as a shepherd his flock. The Lord will guard us as a shepherd guards his flock. Shall ransom Jacob, he shall redeem him from the hand of his conqueror. Shouting they shall mount the heights of Zion, they shall come streaming to the Lord's blessings. The grain, the wine, and the oil, sheep and the oxen. The Lord will guard us as a shepherd guards his flock. Then the virgin shall make merry and dance, and young men and old as well. I will turn their mourning into joy. I will console and gladden them after their sorrow. The Lord will guard us as a shepherd guards his flock.
Many of the Jews who had come to Mary and seen what Jesus had done began to believe in him, but some of them went to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. So the chief priests and the Pharisees convened the Sanhedrin and said, "What are we going to do? This man is performing many signs. If we leave him alone, all will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away both our land and our nation." But one of them, Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, said to them, "You know nothing, nor do you consider that it is better for you that one man should die instead of the people, so that the whole nation may not perish." He did not say this on his own, but since he was high priest for that year, he prophesied that Jesus was going to die for the nation, and not only for the nation, but also to gather into one the dispersed children of God. So from that day on they planned to kill him. So Jesus no longer walked about in public among the Jews, but he left for the region near the desert, to a town called Ephraim, and there he remained with his disciples. Now the Passover of the Jews was near, and many went up to Jerusalem before Passover to purify themselves. They looked for Jesus and said to one another as they were in the temple area, "What do you think, that he will not come to the feast?" The bones of Israel lay scattered across foreign lands, families torn apart by conquest, communities fractured by exile, identity threatened by assimilation. The northern kingdom had fallen to Assyria nearly 2 centuries earlier. Now Babylon had crushed Jerusalem, destroyed Solomon's temple, and carried away Judah's best and brightest. The people who had once been united under David's crown now existed as fragments, disconnected and disoriented. Into this brokenness, Ezekiel speaks a word so audacious it must have sounded like madness. "Thus says the Lord God, I will take the children of Israel from among the nations to which they have gone, and gather them from all sides to bring them back to their land." Reunification, restoration, return, not just for Judah, but for the northern tribes long thought lost to history. One nation again, under one king, with God dwelling in their midst forever. As we stand on the eve of Holy Week, today's readings present us with a powerful vision of divine gathering and unification, and the shocking cost required to make it possible. From Ezekiel's vision of scattered Israel reunited, to Jeremiah's promise of mourning transformed to joy, to the high priest's unwitting prophecy about Jesus dying to gather together the dispersed children of God, these texts speak directly to our fractured world and divided hearts. Ezekiel prophesied during the Babylonian exile, after Jerusalem's destruction in 587 BC. The northern kingdom of Israel had already been conquered and scattered by Assyria in 722 BC. For nearly 150 years, the northern tribes had been lost among the nations, intermarrying and largely assimilating into foreign cultures. Many assumed they were gone forever, their distinct identity dissolved in the seas of empire. Yet Ezekiel dares to proclaim that God will gather both Judah and these lost northern tribes, bringing them back to their land under a new David. "My servant David shall be king over them," God declares through Ezekiel, "and they shall have one shepherd." This promise must have seemed impossible to Ezekiel's original audience. The descendants of the northern tribes were scattered across the known world, their whereabouts largely unknown. David's royal line appeared broken. Jerusalem lay in ruins. The temple, God's dwelling place, was destroyed. Our psalm response from Jeremiah echoes this theme of gathering. "Hear the word of the Lord, O nations, proclaim it on distant coasts, and say, He who scattered Israel now gathers them together, he guards them as a shepherd his flock." Again we encounter this image of shepherd and scattered flock now being reunited. The same God who allowed the scattering as painful judgment for infidelity now promises restoration. The result, they shall come streaming to the Lord's blessings. "I will turn their mourning into joy. I will console and gladden them after their sorrows." Then we turn to our gospel, where these prophetic themes find both fulfillment and radical reinterpretation through Jesus. After raising Lazarus from the dead, a powerful sign of life overcoming death, Jesus faces mounting opposition from religious authorities. Many believe in him because of this miracle, but others report him to the Pharisees. The chief priests and Pharisees call a council meeting, worried that, if we leave him alone, all will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away both our land and our nation. Their concern is political survival. They fear Jesus will trigger Roman repression that will destroy the limited autonomy they still enjoy. Then Caiaphas, the high priest, makes a chilling calculation. "It is better for you that one man should die instead of the people, so that the whole nation may not perish." John adds this commentary. He did not say this on his own, but since he was high priest for that year, he prophesied that Jesus was going to die for the nation, and not only for the nation, but also to gather into one the dispersed children of God. Here the gathering theme from Ezekiel and Jeremiah takes an unexpected turn. Yes, Jesus will unite the scattered people of God, but through his death, the high priest intends a coldly pragmatic elimination of a threatening figure. God repurposes this evil intention into the means of cosmic reconciliation. As we prepare to enter Holy Week tomorrow with Palm Sunday, these readings illuminate the deeper meaning of Christ's passion. His death is not merely a tragedy or even just an atoning sacrifice. It is the means by which God gathers what has been scattered, not just the tribes of Israel, but all humanity. What does this mean for us today? First, these readings speak powerfully to our experiences of fragmentation and exile. We live in a world of deep divisions: political, religious, racial, economic. Families are fractured, communities polarized, nations in conflict. Even within ourselves, we often feel scattered, our attention, loyalties, and identities pulled in competing directions. The prophetic promise that God gathers what has been scattered offers profound hope. The one who created cosmos out of chaos continues this reunifying work in our world and in our hearts. No division is too deep, no scattering too complete for divine gathering. Second, today's readings challenge our assumptions about how unification happens. The religious authorities in John's Gospel fear that Jesus will trigger violent repression, potentially destroying the nation. Their solution is pragmatic elimination of the perceived threat, but God's path to unity runs directly through the cross, through self-giving love rather than self-protecting violence. This remains countercultural today. We often assume that unity requires suppressing difference, eliminating opposition, or enforcing conformity. God's way involves embracing the pain of division and transforming it through sacrificial love. Third, these texts reveal that true gathering involves transformation, not just relocation. Ezekiel speaks of a new heart and spirit. Jeremiah describes mourning turned to joy. In John's Gospel, Jesus' death leads to resurrection and the gift of the Spirit. Divine gathering doesn't just bring us together as we are, it makes us new. As Holy Week approaches, we're invited to reflect on the scattered places in our own lives. Where do we experience exile from our true selves, from others, from God? What fragments our attention, divides our loyalty, or separates us from those we love? These places of painful scattering become the very spaces where God's gathering work begins. The gathering vision in today's readings isn't just future hope. It begins now, wherever we allow God to heal divisions within and between us. Every act of forgiveness, every bridge built across difference, every reconciliation attempted participates in this cosmic gathering. As we stand at the threshold of Holy Week, these readings prepare us to understand the cross as God's definitive gathering action. Jesus stretches out his arms on the cross to embrace all humanity in one sacrificial act of love. From that moment forward, all other forms of human unity find their source and pattern in this cruciform gathering. Tomorrow we begin the sacred journey through Holy Week. As we witness Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, his Last Supper with disciples, his agony in the garden, his trial and crucifixion, may we recognize in these events the costly, beautiful work of the God who gathers what has been scattered. And may we open ourselves, our divided hearts, relationships, communities, and world, to this divine gathering that transforms exile into homecoming and death into life.